Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into a really profound, timeless parable. It's a classic story that totally flips our understanding of power, vulnerability, and who we actually turn to when we need help. Let's strip away the illusions of worldly authority together and uncover a much deeper truth.
So, before we jump into the dark jungle of our story, I want you to ask yourself, who do you truly rely on when life just gets overwhelmingly difficult? When the storm hits, are you looking to your bank account, your network, maybe the people in charge? Keep that question right in the back of your mind, because your answer might actually shift by the end of this explainer.
All right, Section 1, The Lost King, a Royal Misfortune.
Okay, so our story kicks off with a powerful king riding deep into an untamed jungle. But, well, Mother Nature clearly didn't get the memo about his royal immunity. A massive storm breaks out of nowhere, a deer startles his horse, the king is thrown to the ground, and he's knocked completely unconscious. When he finally wakes up, it's pitch black. His leg is severely injured. Suddenly, he's stripped entirely of his worldly power and status, and he literally has to hobble blindly through the dark, using a broken branch for a walking stick. That is, until he spots a tiny, distant lamp burning in a window.
Moving on to Section 2, The Farmer's Hospitality, a Safe Haven.
The king manages to knock on the door, and a humble farmer opens it up. Now, seeing this battered, limping man, the farmer has absolutely no idea he's looking at a monarch. To him, it's just a stranger in desperate need. And without a second thought, he welcomes him in. He provides food, shelter, and care. It's just this beautiful, pure moment of unconditional human kindness offered to someone who, at that moment, seemingly has absolutely nothing to give back in return.
Which brings us to Section 3, The Royal Promise, an Earthly Guarantee.
The next morning rolls around, and the helpless stranger reveals his true identity. He looks at the farmer and says, "I am the king of this country. Take my ring." He promises that if the farmer ever needs help, all he has to do is come to the palace, show that ring, and the king will take care of the whole shebang. He's handing out this absolute earthly guarantee, fully asserting his position as the ultimate problem solver. Pretty amazing reward, right?
Well, let's look at Section 4, The Palace Revelation, a shocking reality. So, some time passes, and just as you'd expect, the farmer runs into a serious problem. He heads straight to the Grand Palace to cash in on that royal favor. He's expecting to find this almighty sovereign, someone ready to just snap his fingers and make everything better. But what does he actually walk in on? It's a total shock. He finds the Grand King on his knees, hands raised high, completely deep in prayer. This supposedly all-powerful ruler is humbling himself, begging for help.
Stunned, the farmer asks him what he's doing, and the king freely admits it. He says he was asking the Lord for the help to solve his own problems and maintain peace in his country. It's a huge revelation. Despite the crown on his head, the giant castle, the massive army, the king is openly acknowledging that he, too, must rely on a higher power for strength and solutions. And that leads us right into Section 5, The Ultimate Truth, a profound realization.
The farmer stands there, processes this for a second, then politely thanks the king and actually asks for permission to leave. The king is totally confused by this. Didn't the guy come for help? But the farmer drops this absolute mic drop realization. He says, "Your Majesty, you are the king, but I saw we are all beggars at the Lord's door, so I will ask him for help too." You have to admit the logic there is undeniable. Why ask a beggar for something when you can literally go directly to the ultimate source yourself? So what are we really supposed to take away from this? First off, earthly power and guarantees, they're ultimately just an illusion. When the real storm hits, a king is just as helpless as anyone else out there. Second, every single human being relies on something greater than themselves. And finally, if everyone is dependent on the same ultimate source, well, it makes the most sense to just take your problems directly there. Think about the worldly rings you've been relying on in your own life, and remember that every human, no matter their status, is ultimately a beggar at a higher door.
I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. The next time you face a massive hurdle, the next time you feel completely lost in the dark jungle of life, ask yourself, are you wasting your time seeking help from the king, or are you going straight to the King of Kings? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning where your power truly comes from, and I'll see you next time.